now, President Trump signing an executive order that the White House says will invigorate the coal industry. So let's take a listen live.
Secretary, and he said, "Sir, you have one person who's much better than me at this, Chris Wright." I said, "Who the hell is Chris Wright? I have no idea who he is." And then I learned that he's the most respected person in the energy business by far, far and away. For Doug to say that, Doug's got a big ego. It was very tough for him to say that. Catherine was there, right? Catherine, you said, "Wow, I've never heard that before." But Chris, you guys are fantastic. Stand up, all three of you, please stand up. Yeah, that's a great team. It's no better team than that. I mean, they're going to produce energy the likes of which nobody's seen before. You know, we need to do the AI, all of this new technology that's coming online. We need more than double the energy, the electricity that we currently have. You take all of the electricity in the country right now for houses, for buildings, for everything. We need to more than double it to be number one. We're now way ahead of everybody at AI. China's in second place, but way behind. And they're going to be producing a lot of energy and a lot of electricity for this. And so are we, and we're going to get approvals very fast. And I would say the man that's almost comparable to you in terms of the importance to this, maybe he's even more comparable, I hate to tell you, a guy named Lee Zeldin, who's a friend of mine for a long time. He was a great Lee was a great lawyer, and he ran for office, and he won immediately. I gave him a very important endorsement. He won for Congress in an area that was unwinnable. He couldn't have, they were all saying, why is he wasting his time? That's Democrat territory. And I liked Lee and knew Lee, and he ended up winning a seat in a massive upset. Nobody knew what happened, actually, and then he was there for a long time. How many years were you there? 8 years. Was very popular, and then he almost ran. He almost won the governorship of New York, which is lost by a few points, which was an amazing run. And I said, we got to get you in with us in some form, and we did. And he's head of the environmental agency, EPA, and doing a great job. And I said, if we have a nuclear power plant, Lee, can you get it approved in less than a month? He said, what? He said, I'll do it faster. And by the way, he'll do a fast job, but he's going to do also a great job. It's going to be an important job. We don't even smile about it. But, you know, I've been involved in the approval process for a long time, having been in real estate. And you go years and years and years for absolutely nothing. And even in those days, I used to say, you know, this whole thing could have been approved in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and it would have been just as good. But they'd take you down the path, and you'd spend years waiting, and then sometimes you get rejected. I wasn't rejected too much. I was the king of zoning. I did well, but it was such nonsense. It was so terrible. The process was so terrible. But this is the big leagues now, and he's the head person in the whole country, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate you doing it. And already they're respecting you very greatly. So thank you very much, Lee. Great job. So we have a lot of senators and congressmen and women, and I'm going to just introduce the ones that I see here. Because, you know, it's always a problem when I do this because I leave one or two out, and that's the end. I never get their vote again. I never get their vote. It takes years to recover, but we'll give it a shot because Senator John Barrasso, who's my friend and a great gentleman. Thank you very much, John, for being here. Thank you, John. Cynthia Lummis, fantastic woman who believes like I do, and she believes like I do in these people, right? She believes in them maybe even more than I do. That's pretty good from day one. Thank you, Cynthia. You're doing a fantastic job. Kevin Kramer, my friend. Where is Kevin? Because Kevin, I think he was here because he had a problem, and I just will pay my respects. He wanted to be here so badly, but he had a difficult problem that he's working through, and we all love Kevin. John Hoven. John, thank you very much. Thank you. very much. Go ahead. Steve Daines. Thank you, Steve. And Steve is a picker of great candidates, like he picked a guy named Tim Sheehy, who's here. Where's Tim? Where is Tim? Thank you, Tim. And Tim Sheehy has turned out to be a wonderful senator, and that was your pick. And we went with it, and you were right. And we have a great one in Tim, so thank you, Tim, and thank you, Steve. Shelley Moore Capito. Shelley, thank you very much. West Virginia. From West Virginia, she has to you have no choice. Even if you didn't like it, you have to like all, right? But they were doing a number on you. They were doing a number on you with the coal stuff, and you have not only coal, but you have among the best coal anywhere in the world. So thank you very much. A friend of mine for a long time, I'm the one that got him to change his religion in a sense. He changed the party. He went from a Democrat. I said, Jim, you're not a Democrat. But he changed to Republican. He's one of the most popular Republicans and one of the most popular political leaders in the country, Jim Justice. I call him Big Jim. Big Jim Justice. Good. You look good, Jim. And he was in the business. And so am I doing the right thing? You would know better than anybody in this room. Am I doing the right thing, Jim? Huh? I think so, right? Thank you very much, Jim. Cindy Hyde Smith. Cindy, thank you, hon. Very good. Good job. People are going to be happy. And all friends of mine. Mike Lee. Mike, thank you very much. We have a lot of people from Congress, congressmen and women, representatives. Morgan Griffith. Morgan, thank you. Thank you very much. Bruce Westerman. Bruce, thank you, Bruce. Bob Latta. Bob Latta. Thank you, Bob. Good job. Troy Balderson. Troy, haven't seen you in a long time. Since that early race, I endorsed him before anyone knew who he was, and he ended up winning. That was another surprise, right? And that was a long time ago. Yep, you're doing a great job. Thank you very much, Troy. Carol Miller. Carol, thank you. Carol, West Virginia. Riley Moore. Riley. Hi, Riley. Thanks. Mike Bost. Mike, thank you very much. Troy Downing. Troy, thank you. Oh, he has something. What is it, coal? Is there coal in that bag? Huh? Even better, it's clean coal. I like it. I'll take it right now. Thank you very much. Hal Rogers. Hal, thank you. Thank you, Hal. Andy Barr. Thank you, Andy. Good luck with everything. I hear good things. Troy Downing. Troy, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Troy. Hal Rogers. Oops. Harriet Hageman. Harriet. Hi. How are you, Harriet? We just left Harriet. This is one of the finest attorneys you will ever see. I have seen her in action, and she is brutal. I never want her against me, that I can tell you. Dan Muser. Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thanks, Dan. Good job you're doing. Wesley Hunt, my friend, too. Wesley, great. I love your commercial. Pete Stauber. Pete. Thank you, Pete. Great hockey player he was, right? Great hockey player. And a great gentleman just broke
the president still calling out supporters of this order right now, an executive order he's about to sign. Let's bring in CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro with the details on what this executive order is and what the event is all about. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. This executive order that we will see President Trump sign is focused on the coal industry. And just looking at the fact sheet the White House provided to reporters leading into this event, it is focused on lifting existing regulations, barriers on coal mining, prioritizing coal leasing on federally owned lands, rescinding any moves taken in the past administration and really the past decade to transition America away from coal production. And just some context, right now, coal makes up about 16% of the electricity in the United States, a dwindling percentage. What Trump is doing here is looking to reinvigorate that. He also made a mention just now in coal-powered artificial intelligence data centers. We know that is something the president wants more investment in, these AI centers. But just from talking to energy experts leading up to this executive order, these data centers are already powered by natural gas, renewable energy, and in part coal. Whether Trump wants it all to be powered by coal remains to be seen. But this executive order is just the latest step that he's taking to kind of undo some of the environmental regulations from past administrations. He has already withdrew from the Paris Climate Agreement, and the EPA, under his watch, under the watch of the Commissioner Lee Zeldin, has already rolled back 31 environmental regulations, including those that deal with reducing air pollution.
All right, so Aaron, as we're waiting for the president to sign this executive order, let's talk to you about tariffs. We just heard that Canada's announcing 25% counter tariffs on U.S.-made vehicles, and China, of course, plans to fight the tariffs. So how is the Trump administration responding?
Yeah, this is a major point right now when it comes to President Trump's tariffs. And on China, the White House has really indicated they're not backing down on this. They're going to implement an additional 50% tariff after midnight tonight, bringing it to a total of 104% tariff on Chinese goods. At the same time, they have signaled they are open to negotiation with other trading partners, have said that over 70 countries have reached out to the White House to begin negotiations. Trump officials say they're already beginning conversations with Japan, and that they will make, quote, tailor-made plans to each country that comes to the negotiating table, but they are remaining bullish on China. We heard from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt talk a little bit about this during her press briefing earlier this afternoon. Take a listen to what she had to say.
Look, I just spoke to the president about this, and he believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight. But the president believes that she and China want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get that started. And the president also wanted me to tell all of you that if China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best for the American people.
And the White House there seems to be indicating they want Chinese officials to call them first. And we also heard from White House Deputy Chief of Staff on Policy Stephen Miller, who voiced confidence that China would come to the table, in part because they're making the bet that because of China's reliance on exports to the U.S. and these tariffs, that they will be hurt economically, and also making the bet that potential negotiations with other large trading partners, such as Canada, Mexico, those in Europe, would help isolate China and bring the second biggest market in the world to the negotiating table with the U.S.
Aaron Navarro. Aaron, thank you so much.